next objective? Don't forget that you can enjoy the playground as much as you like in free drive. A great way to hone your new skills. Said, let's take a break before resuming your Gincana quest with a This versus That episode. Hoonigan does countless car-related things, from custo to pro racing. But one of their favorite activities is as simple as it is fun, to compare cars by racing them. Two cars that are very special to our host. You'll find out more later. For now, you just have to pick your horse.
the RWB 911 Turbo. It's just a spicy Beetle, except this one is really fast. We're into this versus that event. The guys and I do it all the time. We put two cars on the grid and see which one is the fastest. We can only compare cars for the fun of it. Don't worry if you lose. Two competitors today belong to the collection of a true Volkswagen nerd, me. These cars on track, it makes me feel emotional. And a little bit anxious, to be honest. Don't crash yours, please. I'll tell Gary the same thing. Don't worry about the car. We're used to it. This race is like seeing a Jack Ferdinand Porsche fighting a buffed up August Hork in the octagon. In the red corner, the 965 Turbo, upgraded to over 400 horsepower with Japanese aesthetics. Love this one. And in the blue corner, the 1990 Coupe Quattro with a big turbo that takes it up over 800 horsepower. A good little boy. They both have a lot of power and they're both insane. I'm not going to bed before kissing these two beauties goodnight. It calms me. See the volcano? My guys are preparing a first Gymkhana test for you over there. Things are gonna get real. The end is near. Oh boy, it's gonna be tough watching either of my babies lose. If you wanna push the car to its limit, now is the time. Lost, but my Quattro won. Weird feeling. I don't really know how to react. It's like choosing your favorite kid.
All right. You did great. But honestly, this versus that was heartbreaking to watch. On one side, you've got this 1990 Audi Coupe Quattro that took me a mere 2 decades to see crazy hill climbing beast. And on the other, the ultimate goal for any VW, Audi, Porsche nerd like myself. One of the first 2 cars that Raw Welt ever built outside of Japan. Check out the hips on that thing. I know we patched this whole thing together, but I just can't watch either of these lose. So I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed for this one. All good? Can I open my eyes now? Let's meet at the foot of the volcano. It's time to put your skills to the test in an actual Gymkhana.
to the Gymkhana mindset. This event is a validation event, meaning you'll need to use the skills you've acquired on the playground. Scotto wants to see if you can use them in a time attack. The Hoonicorn will no longer be your mount for this event, replaced by a fully modified 3rd Gen Camaro. Hoonigan created this car at Chevrolet's own request. The brand wanted a special car for a special engine, a 632 crate engine, also called a big block. Hard to miss, this engine literally pierces the hood. Actually, it doesn't even have a hood. The test driver.
Hey, welcome to the first test, the volcano. We really spruced up the place. The plan's simple. You go up to the summit, then drive down as fast as you can while performing various tricks. I want to see if you can be both fast and precise in such a challenging environment. All right, I'd be lying if I didn't happen to mention a few drivers might have gone down the ravine. It was kind of rough, but that's not going to happen to you. And after all, the Camaro, virtually unbreakable. Good luck.
Probably wondering, why a chopper? You'll find out soon. Time to see what you've learned. Finish the race on time. Do as many tricks as you can. And on top of winning that money, you'll win my heart. Deal? That big block is ultra powerful, and that's not a euphemism. But she's not a natural-born Gymkhana machine like the Hoonicorn. You can drift the street car for sure, but it's at your own risk with the handbrake. Yeah, I'm gonna jump over it, like now. Now that's what we call proximity. This type of moment in a video with slow-mo, now that's badass. Align properly to take the rail. We designed this path in reference to hill climbs, hardcore uphill races. But in a volcano, dude, you take it up a notch. Come on, I want to see you flirt with the precipice a little longer. Kill these tires. Watch out for roadworks, 100 meters ahead. Slaloming at high speed through roadworks, jumping over a chopper, that's why gymkhanas exist. Follow the chopper. The end is right over there.
Well done. That time attack was crazy and honestly not very easy to negotiate, especially in a 1,000 horsepower Camaro. This machine owes its power to the extremely prominent 632 big block coming through the hood. We also beefed up the drivetrain, specifically going with straight cut gears, because Gymkhana drivers tend to be a little hard on their equipment and break everything. And by the way, we shot a couple highlight videos. I figured you might want to watch them. This race, it had its wow moments, but the others, they're gonna need to be even more spectacular than that. I need you to go pick up this Mitsubishi Evo 9, and then you gotta bring it back to the shop so Ron, the rally guru, and the boys can jump on it and get a build going.
Scotto just bought is waiting for you in a parking lot a little further on. You just have to take it back to the Hoonigan HQ so that they can give it their special treatment. Customization is their thing.
Lucky to find find this Evo in this area. It's quite rare in the US, so I had to jump on it. I've told Ron, and the team can't wait to get their hands on it. And what's more, we've got a sunset and great sound. Everything's smiling on us. Chill out a bit. This car doesn't look like much. Just look at the interior. No frills, classic Japanese minimalism. But there's always more. Mitsubishi gave us a nice inline 4-cylinder with already 280 horsepower. That, we're gonna turn up a bit. Believe me, this bad boy is gonna make an absolute gymkhana beast. We just need to give it a Hoonigan touch. I think we add a little carbon to it, a good way to give it some street spirit. Like a carbon hood, roof, and 4 doors. Did I say a little carbon? I meant a lot. Creating a gymkhana car is always exciting. You start with an idea, toss in some passion, fantasy, and insanity, and you get the ultimate car. Back to the Hoonigan HQ. Thanks for your help, appreciate it. Ron's inside. He's gonna take care of Mademoiselle.
About to start a new lesson and try new stunts. You know the drill by now. Anything you learn in the playground will come in handy later. New day, new car. You'll be driving the only electric Hoonigan car, which is probably the most powerful gymkhana car, the Audi Hoonitron.
second training session. Nobody at dawn, we've got the playground to ourselves. That was a precision strike section. You have to hit the sticks with your car's bumper. And that is a wall ride. You know how to drift against gravity? You're gonna learn. Today's all about using the skills you learned before and moving up a gear. New wall ride coming up. Try to skid when you're on top, but be careful. If you take off, you could lose control of your vehicle. All right, let's go again with the precision strike. The trick is not going too fast and just throwing the car in before the first stick. Pull the handbrake if you have to. Last round, so I don't want to see one stick standing. Is the most futuristic of all Gymkhana cars. It could drift on the moon, so get me to the stratosphere.
All right, you dizzy yet? Should be. But I also think you're starting to finally understand what it is to Gymkhana. Donuts, the wall ride, the grind, they're all technical stunts and difficult to pull off, of course. But the true value is in the spectacle. Gymkhana is entertainment. The aim is to create the most dramatic and wild moments. It can take anywhere from 6 months to a year for us to gather all of the ideas and locations and everything, but a driver only has a few minutes to make it all work. Come on, check out your moves. The one advantage to EVs is the acceleration and instant torque. No matter the situation, you'll always have enough power to pull off a stunt. As always, we're gonna put your skills to the test. But let's change things up a bit. How about a little of this versus that? Go park the Hoonatron. It's big block versus big block.
Scotto loves, this versus that. We asked Hoonigan if they'd be willing to race one of their creations against one of our own. 50% Hoonigan, 50% Motorfest. The Motorfest's 3100 vs the Hoonigan's third generation Camaro. These cars have one thing in common, and it's no small thing. They're both powered by the same big block engine. You're free to choose the car you want, of course, but I'm pretty sure the 3100 is going to win.
The Camaro Big Block, solid choice. Safe bet.
Wow, the turns are really rough here. The Motorfest car is behind you, but is that really a surprise? Tricky turns are back. Second lap. The Camaro has 1,000 horsepower. Fourth if in first position. Modifying a classic pickup like the 3100, I admit, it's bold. I'm curious about the time they had to make it. On our side, we built that Camaro kit in 3 weeks. Even had a 3D printed. Thought a cockfight. We agree, but let it be said. Chevy Camaro eating a Chevy 3100? Is that cannibalism?
Has decided the format for the next validation event, a race with stunts. This is probably one of the last events before the Gymkhana Motorfest, so you can be sure that Scotto will be paying close attention to your performance.
Just like the volcano, it's a practice run, your final one, so let's see you put those newfound skills to the test. We turned it up a bit this time. You're gonna be racing against other drivers for this one. The car, the track, the electric atmosphere, it's all there. I wanna show you how everything works together in Gymkhana. Throw down some crazy tricks, win the race, and I might just consider you for Gymkhana Motorfest. Good luck.
Kind of start that makes me happy. Precision Strike is up next. Remember to adapt your speed and throw your car before the first step. You can either settle for winning the race or try to impress me by doing as many tricks as possible. Not forgetting to blow up your opponents, of course. Slide left, then slide right. Narrow and dangerous. Perfect. Got lightning, red neon light, and the Hoonatron. It's a blast. Just what we're looking for in Gymkhana. Create a unique atmosphere. part is full of turns, the ideal zone for striking and winning bucks. Oh boy! The Gymkhana mine, you have it.
I wanted to play it cool, but color me impressed. You clearly have the drive and the moves we're looking for. But the Hunatron does make it kind of easy, doesn't it? Its design and inspiration came from one of the most legendary and important rally cars of all time, the S1 E2 Quattro. 2 Formula E engines allow this thing to absolutely incinerate tires. The thing is, you have the skills. See for yourself. Let's go. That's got to be my favorite moment of the race. Nice work, sport. You finally made it to the big show. My team and the Crew Motorfest are putting on the final details for Gymkhana Motorfest. But we have one more challenge for you.
Driver, you've impressed, Scotto. It looks like you're going to be the Gymkhana driver for the big show. Well, just one extra challenge before that, to the Hoonigan HQ. With the Hoonicorn. This car is so iconic, it would be a shame not to call on it one last time.
All right, I brought you back here for one more challenge before I give you the keys to the house. Let me clarify. I took the Hoonicorn out for a ride this morning. Not the kind of car you'd expect to take a trip to the seaside, right? So I figured, with that setting, a drift record was the perfect thing to do. You know, casual stuff. right, you see where I'm going with this? I want to see if you can beat my score in the same conditions. I don't think it's going to be too difficult with everything you've learned during the playlist.
You have to beat my score. You really think you can do it? Use all the elements, grind, donut, everything you've learned is worth points.
It this time.
Only 30 seconds left. Only 25 seconds left. Only 20 seconds? I'm kidding. I'll stop doing that. It's not fair.
Bravo, driver. You've impressed, Scotto. It looks like you're going to be the Gymkhana driver for the big show. Well, just one extra challenge before that, to the Hoonigan HQ.